Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Twan Sigmund, and this is the Double Mind on Immigration in the Netherlands. On August 20th, 2025, a Dutch girl in Amsterdam was cycling home in midnight. Not only an hour later, she would be raped and murdered. This murder specifically brought a lot of outrage in the Netherlands for two different reasons. The first was women's safety in the Netherlands, specifically at night. Women felt that they were being attacked and not safe anymore. But the second reason was the fact that the suspect was an asylum seeker in the Netherlands, with who was already tied to two other sexual assaults beforehand in the same month. This not only created outbreak in the society, but also in the politics. During this incident, immigration was already quite a heated topic in the Netherlands. But another reason is that the Dutch government, which was a extreme right government, just collapsed 2 months before this, and the re-elections were just about to start up. So this was especially a sensitive topic. Now I do have to note that this incident doesn't account for everyone, every other immigrant in the Netherlands. And that's also what the government told everyone, that this is an isolated incident. But to understand how it came to this, we need to understand the history of the Netherlands. The Netherlands is a historical safe haven for immigration, specifically during the 16th, 17th century, during what we call in the Netherlands the Gouden Eeuw, or the Dutch, or the Golden Era of the Netherlands, where in this century we abolished the Catholic Church, and a lot of refugees, both political and religious, fled to the Netherlands from France. Further, we can go a bit further to World War I, where about 900,000 Belgians moved to the Netherlands because of the German invasion. In 1930, a lot of Jews from Germany came to the Netherlands because of the rise of Hitler in Germany. After the World War II happened, a lot of Western European countries let go of their colonies, just like the Netherlands. Of this result, a lot of them came to the Netherlands. This includes people that Dutch nationals that were already living in those colonies, and also nationals from those colonies. For example, Indonesian, Suriname, and other Caribbean islands we have. Some more recent conflicts are the Yugoslavic War, somewhere in the 19th, where a lot of them fled to the Netherlands. The Syrian War in 2015, at least that's when a lot of them came to the Netherlands, and the more recent Ukrainian War. But we don't just accept immigrants. We like to see them as how can they be of use to the Dutch society. And in this graph, you can't really see it that well from that side, but this graph shows the blue line is the GDP growth of the last 2 years, and the red line is the immigration growth. And you can see that, for example, when there is an increase in immigration, our GDP of the last 2 years also increases. Now let's look at the current situation. Currently there are 3 million foreign-born people in the Netherlands. This is about 17% of the Dutch population, and last year we had a net gain of 94,000 immigrants, of which 12% were asylum seekers. The rest are expats, students, and people that came from families. Another trend we've been seeing in the Netherlands for the past 20 years is that the immigrants are staying longer. They're staying for 5+ years in the Netherlands, which they keep occupying houses. And this brings us to the effects. Now these effects are not solely the responsibility of immigrants, but also because of Dutch policies. For example, the housing shortage. Currently in the Netherlands, the average price of a house is over €500,000, which is about $590,000 and 94 million yen for a house. This is accommodated because when immigrants come to the Netherlands and they get a status, they also get a house assigned to them. So this creates a housing shortage for the Dutch nationals. This obviously also increases the rent, which has gone up by 20%, and also makes the society more divided, because I want a house when I grow up, but €500,000 for a house is kind of expensive. But this also creates false assumptions in the Netherlands. For example, a lot of Dutch people think there are too many immigrants or that are more immigrants in the Netherlands than that there are actually in the Netherlands. Or, for example, the stereotypes where people from the Middle East are always stealing stuff from us. So, the double mind here is between the Dutch values and the concerns of the Dutch population. We have our historical friendliness to immigration, combined with economic pragmatism of seeing, how can they contribute to the Dutch society? But we also have a feeling of responsibility as a privileged country that we should help those in need. And also the acceptance of different cultures. But there are serious concerns. 55% of the population believes there are too many immigrants. The safety concerns, for example, look at the murder on Lisa. Although it was an isolated incident, a lot of people tied it to the immigration problem. The housing shortage, which comes along with the bottleneck on the public sector, because immigrants get free access to healthcare, public schooling, and other benefits. And the integration difficulties. A lot of Dutch people think that some immigrants have issues with integrating in the Dutch society. Oh, and here you can see the average price from 2015, which was €250,000, which is now 10 years later €500,000. Thank you.
Do you have any questions or comments?